Okie dokes. M.DieStar going to be spawning here as the purple Terran up to the top left-hand corner in the finals here of the Sennheiser Cup. And meanwhile, over to the top right-hand corner, we have BeastyQt going to be spawning as the orange Terran. So a bit of TVT action here on the biggest map of the map pool. Going to be crazy. May end up seeing a long game, may not. And I'm running out of steam, guys. I've got to say, oh my god, it's been brutal. It's been brutal. I should have eaten some food beforehand. I don't know why I didn't, but not to worry. We just have to get through this, and then I can get hundreds of burgers if I really want to. We have a lot in the fridge. Yum yum yum. In fact, no, I'm not going to have burgers. Yes, I am going to have burgers, because they're pretty quick. No, I'm not. I'm going to have fish fingers and chips and cream sauce. Yeah! Okay, so, what is going to happen? Do you have a little... Oh, there you go. Bit of a pause. We'll wait for this. You've got this. Dun, 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 dun. I should bring one story a day to my casting. Otherwise, I'll run out of stories to tell, which would be a travesty. That would be very, very bad indeed. And do you not think, like, sometimes Day9 must make up some of the stories he has? Because, like, he's had a lot of dailies, and he's had a lot of stories. There's no way he could have had that many stories in his life. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I can't decide. Not to worry, as both players looking to be going for pretty mirrored builds here. Going to be getting that refinery and the barracks going down. So, maybe some Hellions going down anytime soon. Hellions still not too bad in this map, I'm sure. But Reactor Hellions a little bit less. I bet you will play Reactor Hellions. Oh my god. Both of these players knowing each other a bit too well. Maybe. I bet you will play 2 racks into Marine Marauder Medevac. Oh dear me. Of course. Okay, I want to see if these guys stick to it, because if that's true, oh, that is going to be so cool. Okay, so let's see. Both players trying to predict one another here. Hopefully we will see the predictions come to fruition, as that would be very, very interesting to see indeed. EmpireBeastyqt here going for a bit of a tech lab on his barracks, so maybe we will see some 2 racks here from M.DieStar. Throwing down that tech lab in order to get those upgrades out pretty quickly. Factory going down for BeastyQt, so his prediction is pretty right on the money right now, as BeastyQt does love him some Hellions, as we've seen many, many a time already. Going to be able to secure his natural here. Reaper on the way. Oh, okay, so Reaper on the way, maybe a Reaper expand. EmpireBeastyqt. Why would you play Marine Marauder Medevac in TVT? I guess it's sort of a new wave kind of thing, where they're trying to make it viable. But I don't know, I'm still skeptical of the whole bio thing in TVT. It can get a bit odd. Well, I mean fully bio. It can get a bit weird. So, oh well, not to worry. As we do have the expansion going down for both players, so they're looking for a little bit of a macro game. Meanwhile, that Reaper will head across the map. And regardless of this being a final, I mean, if these guys know each other's playstyles, it's still a little bit of... It's still great practice for them in general. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see some long, drawn-out macro games from both these players. And, you know, Terrans make it to finals quite often, I must say. So, do you have 2nd barracks and 3rd barracks going down for EmpireBeastyqt, so indeed that Marine Medevac Marauder composition may indeed be very, very predictable here for M.DieStar. Meanwhile, those Hellions will be on the way for M.DieStar. We'll look for a few holes in his opponent's defense, but I don't think there will be many. We already have Marauders out, but then again, Marauders! Oh, excuse me. Marauders versus Hellions is a very, very odd matchup indeed. Oh my god, killing so many of those trees. Those poor trees! Why would you do that? I guess they killed a Marine that was there scouting. Trying to push up here, trying to do as much damage as possible. And Marauder, though, will fend them off, as both of them will just tickle one another. Ha ha ha. Tickle, tickle. We do have combat shields on the way now for M.DieStar. And so many more Marauders. So, regardless, we have Starport going down for BeastyQt. Maybe going to go for some Marine Hellion drop shenanigans, which is always so prevalent in this any matchup, really. As, you know, apart from really TVP, it doesn't really happen too much. But not to worry, as these Marauders, able to get quite a lot of damage off on those Hellions, as they were looking for a little bit of an opening. But wisely, M.DieStar raising his supply depot, able to fend that off very, very nicely. Factory going down for EmpireBeastyqt now. And, here's something we didn't expect. Clucked Banshees on the way for BeastyQt. So, maybe playing against his trends. Maybe this is something that his opponent would not be ready for. That is very, very cool if that is the case. Always love to see kind of people who know each other's styles going up against one another and then seeing if you can kind of... Oh wait, there's a little bit of a hole there. No, actually Hellions probably cannot get through there. Not to worry. Oh god, sorry, I'm yawning. I've been up since 7 AM. It's been an extremely long day, but not to worry. We do have a starport going down now. Engineering bay as well. So, has he actually seen... Okay, so he's seen the tech lab on that starport with a scan. And we do have a Raven on the way. Is that Banshee already on the way? There we go, there it is. So that Banshee, the Raven, going to be great in order to be able to soak up a lot of those Marauders shots. And actually going to be flying in here. Cancels the cloak by the looks of things. So he's going to try and get as many of these SUV kills as he possibly can do. Good Marine spread here right now, though, from EmpireBeastyqt. Will be able to fend that off pretty easily. Meanwhile, though, in the middle of the map, a lot of Hellions getting into position to maybe dive in and take out as many of those SCVs as possible. Ooh, don't go too far, Mr. Banshee, as you could get a bit dead. Yeah, that'll do. A bit dead. 2 Vikings on the way now for Mr. EmpireBeastyqt, so not too bad a transition at all to be able to secure himself against Banshee pressure even more. We do have Stim on the way. So again, I really don't particularly like the kind of bio-heavy style against an opposing Terran, especially if your opposing Terran is going for that mech style, i.e. the Blue Flame Hellions and siege tanks like Mr. BeastyQt is doing right now. And whilst EmpireBeastyqt was able to predict his opener, he really wasn't able to... Oh my god, that's going to take absolutely forever. You know, he's not going to be able to predict pretty much what's going on right now. So we have a lot of those factories in production right now. Going to be able to get a lot of that going. Did he actually click on those 2 buildings? I assume he must have done once he scanned. So he's actually going to know that the that the mech composition is on the way. And now it's just a case for EmpireBeastyqt as to whether or not he can, say, if he wants to break, say, a tank line, for example, either crossing the T in order to be able to kind of take out those siege tanks in good positions, or spreading his units out well enough when actually going for that super push. Meanwhile, the EmpireBeastyqt actually going for his own siege tanks, but getting those medevacs out as well, maybe to exploit his opponent's weaknesses, be that immobility or other things. Immobility? Yes. Now we have BeastyQt. Once again, as I said before, these Hellions are going to take a long time to try and actually secure this, so they will take forever and a day, whilst the expansion does go up here. But meanwhile, EmpireBeastyqt able to get his expansion going pretty quickly. A bit of a passive game here right now going on, but not to worry, as TVT can be a little bit stale in the opening stages unless somebody goes for something crazy. I really like a Ghost Marauder rush in TVT, basically because, you know, the Ghosts snipe everything that's light and the Marauders clean up everything that's armoured. Ultimately, though, it can be cleaned up, in essence, by siege tech, depending on whether or not you get it early enough. But some Terrans do not like to get siege tech as early as others, so it can still be exploitable. So here's the thing, these siege tanks for EmpireBeastyqt right now, I mean, he's not going to have as many, anywhere near out as many as BeastyQt will have out eventually. And his siege tanks are not really going to be able to get in that good a position. He's just going to use these to probably push into positions, not really secure positions. So that is something we'll have to factor in, whilst those Marauders are the ones that are going to be dealing the big damage to those siege tanks if they can get up close and personal. Hellion does go down, and he's going to be trying to move in here. Does have enough energy on that for the PDD, and actually trying to go for a Blue Flame Hellion drop, but it's not going to be enough right now, as EmpireBeastyqt actually does potentially secure this position with a lone siege tank, but will be pushed back. So now we have a planetary fortress on the way for BeastyQt. Did we get a planetary fortress here? Nope, orbital command. And a few Vikings trying to pick off a few of these medevacs, but the Marines will be able to deal with that. I like the route that BeastyQt is taking right now. Again, EmpireBeastyqt is in a position where he's going to have a lot of these fragile units. Yes, he's getting those upgrades out for them, and that's great. But at the same time, do we have any upgrades out? We don't have any upgrades out for the mech of BeastyQt. And it's always nice to get those out as quickly as possible. Because, you know, you want to invest in the later game, and that can be very, very strong indeed. EmpireBeastyqt looking to exploit positions, but having some of those medevacs taken out, and now a sensor tower actually going down, really kind of limits his mobility and limits the amount of pressure that you can put on, say, in these back areas, in these back corridors. And there are some greatly placed siege missile turrets here in order to be able to deal with anything that does come that way. So it looks like he is just more than happy to continue with this economic ways. Both players very, very close right now on the economic tab. But at the same time, you know, EmpireBeastyqt does have 3 orbital commands as opposed to the 2 orbital commands of his opponent. And more oh my god, that is so many factories. Again, I would love to... There we go, there's the upgrades going down. As 1-1 now on the way for that mech. And those Hellions getting a little bit overzealous. But at the same time, EmpireBeastyqt has been able to do a great job of boosting his siege tank numbers. So BeastyQt right now is spread ever so slightly thin, whereas a lot of EmpireBeastyqt's force in general is really, really kind of condensed. So in turn, BeastyQt trying to take advantage of that will be using these very, very mobile Hellions to scout here, there, and everywhere, and maybe try and even deny this expansion from going down if he so sees fit. These siege tanks, though, will be able to potentially push this away. Blue Flame Hellions take forever and a day, again, to be able to clean up Hellion tanks, so... EmpireBeastyqt very, very happy to take this into a longer game, but EmpireBeastyqt's macro in general has been so solid all the way through this, pushing up to that 200 supply already, and you know, that's the benefit, that's the boon that you have when you're going for this kind of bio style, or partial bio style. But at the same time, siege tank's going to be moving out here, and does lose just 1 siege tank, a few do go down as well. At the same time, going to be pushing out to the south, while EmpireBeastyqt is doing a good job of controlling his opponent very, very well, and trying to secure this 4th over here, but EmpireBeastyqt realizes this and will be pushing in, forcing the lift off, cancelling that orbital command, in fact that planetary fortress. So now, but then again, BeastyQt moving into a good position to be able to choke off his opponent's units here, and these guys will have to retreat back and flee for now. Can't push into here just yet. So 2-2 now going down for BeastyQt. 2 starports going down for EmpireBeastyqt as well, so maybe going to transition into that very heavy Sky Terran play, which we see quite a lot, trying to poke away at this 4th as much as possible. And if he can get his own 4th up, whilst limiting BeastyQt to his only 3 bays, he's going to be in a great, great position. So once again, going to be slow pushing towards his opponent's siege tank line here, trying to take out as much of it as possible. But again, I don't think this is too much of a threat. I would love to see, I mean, right now, BeastyQt's attention, as it were, is focused down on this southern position. There's no reason we couldn't see, like, a little bit of a push up to the north here, trying to do some damage to this expansion as well. So maybe we will see that, maybe we won't. 2-2 now also going down for the bio of EmpireBeastyqt. So he is in an alright position. 2nd sensor tower actually has already gone down for BeastyQt. And I love that. I love sentry towers in general. And there we go. There's the fusion core. Where is the fusion core? There we go. There it is. Awesome stuff. So we're going to see some battle cruiser action out of EmpireBeastyqt really transferring into this as denying as much scouting as possible. How much of those Hellions have seen the 4th? I think they have. There we go. They've seen this. And at the same time, the lone Hellion will be taken out in midfield. So now, what do we see? We see a lot of units for BeastyQt just trying to secure this 4th. This is like one of the most passive TVTs I have seen in a long time, and Millennium's EmpireBeastyqt behind this is making the correct transitions. Ultimately, he's got 4 starports going to be up very soon, or 5 even, So he's going to be able to get out a lot of Vikings, get out a lot of battle cruisers as well, which his opponent right now he's not going to have an answer for at all. But 6 command centers actually going down here in the middle of his bases. And at this point, EmpireBeastyqt, you know, he's got the economy behind this to start making those battle cruisers. Wants to maybe go for those trades in units. Maybe try and kill off as many of his opponent's Vikings as possible. We do have 4 command centers going down for EmpireBeastyqt as well. Oh my god. So both of these players very, very content right now to take this into a longer game. Going to be stimming up with these guys. Again, that's what I've said before. Really wants to try and pick off as many of those Vikings as possible if he can do. Oh, going to be pushing into a bad siege position here though. And will end up killing off some of these siege tanks. But the trade of some Marines. I don't think EmpireBeastyqt minds too much due to the fact that he's getting a lot of those starports up. And behind this, EmpireBeastyqt also getting up 3 starports as well as a fusion core. It can be so hard to make something happen in TVT due to the fact that siege tanks can be so powerful given their positions, and actually throwing quite a few of these Vikings away. DC'd in second game. What happened whilst I was gone? EmpireBeastyqt beat Mr. Tefel, and Tefel BM'd. Look at this though, EmpireBeastyqt actually setting up a good siege position here, able to kind of secure this area, whilst he has great air dominance right now in this position. But at the same time, we do have Yamato, oh my god, Behemoth reactor going down for those battle cruisers for Mr. EmpireBeastyqt, so he is going to be able to throw down the Yamatos. 3-3 going down for the bio of EmpireBeastyqt right now. As, you know, we have ship... We have Terran building armor going down for EmpireBeastyqt as well, oh my god. So what is this? We haven't really seen either player do very much trading, and EmpireBeastyqt's got himself in a bit of an odd position. Ultimately, he's sort of contained in the back here, and so many scans going to be going down here, there, and everywhere in order to be able to see what is going on. Hellions trying to find a good position now as well. Actually, it looks like he may just push down here, trying to slip out the side as much as he possibly can do. Or actually just going to stim up here and try and take out as much of this as possible. Looks like we'll be able to take out a lot of this. The Hellions are not here to be able to reinforce either. Not able there to soak damage, and all the siege tanks actually go down. But meanwhile, he's happy to be able to do this. He's getting a lot of tech labs down. Hellions down to the south are able to spot this expansion and again begin to tickle away at it. But at the same time, EmpireBeastyqt is going to set up a nice little position at this fort, trying to shell away at it as much as possible. And we do have those battle cruisers now on the way for both players. Yamato cannon, weapon refit was going down. It was Behemoth reactor which increased the starting energy. They're all the same, not to worry. Did those Hellions actually kill that expansion? I can't believe that they would have done. I didn't, whatever. And they're actually going to be pushing in here with his siege tanks, able to take out this position very nicely. Pew! As that last siege tank does go down. Even making a little bit of a sound effect there. Pretty cool. Do have high-sec auto-tracking on the way. These Hellions trying to roast up some tanks. Oh my god. It takes so long for them to kill tanks. So we'll be repositioning another expansion over here. Where are these battle cruisers? They're going somewhere. I don't know where. Where are you, battle cruisers? These Hellions trying to be as pesky as possible. Siege tanks, though, do so much damage to Hellions, whilst Hellions just do nothing to siege tanks. We'll try and get in here, though, and get as close to them as possible. How are we looking on the battle cruiser count for Mr. EmpireBeastyqt? 2 battle cruisers out right now, 2 more on the way. Behemoth reactor going down, and the +3 ship weapons going down, +3 ship armor even going down for Mr. EmpireBeastyqt. 4 battle cruisers in production. That is just utterly ridiculous. Where are they going? There we go. Okay, so again, love this Sky Terran play. Very interesting to see. EmpireBeastyqt and EmpireBeastyqt here. Very happy to draw this out. Very happy to transition into this Sky Terran persona, as it were. And this is a really scary army, I've got to say. Ultimately, dropping a scan there. Both players realizing that either one has gone for those battle cruisers, and now this could be very dubious. So once again, battle cruisers snaking around here and there. Expansions going down for both players down to the south. both trying to establish an economical presence and a bit of an economical tab there for you. At the same time, though, getting a good position here. These siege tanks have got a great position over this expansion. We'll be able to take this out, and the battle cruisers, in turn, are the linchpin of this defense. They will be hold steadfast against his opponent's battle cruisers and Vikings if they so need to. So now, great move by EmpireBeastyqt there, taking out one of his opponent's bases. Meanwhile, though, we have a few tanks in the middle being chased away by some battle cruisers. Oh my god. And a few Marines and Marauders will be here to clean a few things up. At the same time, though, a few Hellions down to the south will be able to try roast up as much as possible. And we'll actually get quite a few SCVs here. How much +3 weapons on these guys? It makes it so easy to deal with those. And Raven's now going down for BCQT, as well as Hunter Seeker Missile and the Corded Reactor. Corvid? Yes, Corvid. So these oh my god, these battle cruisers doing so much damage. 8 battle cruisers now out, as well as, you know, potentially more on the way very, very soon. Wants to replenish a few of those SCVs in order to be able to keep himself in a good position. Those Hellions have been able to do so much damage. Let's go to the workers lost count. 25 to 30 at this point. So EmpireBeastyqt looking to be in a good position, and we do have durable materials as well. I think that helps the auto turrets as well as other stuff. So we do have BCQT going to be trying to secure, as I said before, these expansions down to the south. TVT late game is very cool.